Sure. So anytime that, try to say this right. When you have to audition to get into a school, there are two sets of holding your breath. So you get into the school, which lucky for me, and my hard work, I didn't have any trouble getting into the colleges. It was then once you were approved for the college, you had to apply and audition for the program.
Interesting.
So I did that for Fredonia, for Cortland, for New Paltz, for like a few different schools. And I decided to go to Cortland. And then when I decided to transfer, I had to apply for SUNY New Paltz again and then audition for SUNY New Paltz and then go there and kind of start over again. Because when you're in a program like that, there is a totem pole of seniority for casting and such. But New Paltz is very good with transfers. I think half of our acting program was transfers.
Wow.
So they really respected the idea that people wanted to come there even, in their junior year. So yeah, that was, the transfer process. It's hard. It's easier, SUNY school to SUNY school or like a state school to state school. Because they will take credits, but you do have to be very careful. I was in that transfer office like at least 15 times to get all the credits I thought I was due. So wow. You got to be persistent. It's not the best job for actors because you have to use your voice so much that you work till 2 a.m. Auditions start at 5 a.m. for females. In New York City, you have to get up at 5 a.m., get there, sign your name on the list, and then the auditions start around 9:30. So when I was still doing that, it was kind of hard to be a waitress and audition. Mm-hmm. So, but money is money.
True.
Gotta fund those.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just said you gotta fund those dreams.
So, speaking of funding your dreams, being a directing operator and an actress isn't your only job, is it?
No, it is not. My main source of income and another passion of mine I found over the past year or so is real estate. A friend of mine who is actually a Rockette now, I ran into her on the train and she said, "Oh, I'm just going to work now." And I was like, "It's 1:00 in the afternoon. How are you just going to work now? What do you do with your life?" She's like, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent. I work whenever I want," which is a nice way of saying it. We do work very hard and a lot of weird hours. I got a call at 1 a.m. today trying to get an apartment. So that happens. But
was it a different time zone or was this person just up at 1?
Well, I had responded via text and then they thought they could call me. And I was like, I'm half asleep. But you got to respond as soon as possible because there's so many of us agents here in the city. But it really is, it's a great job. It's very flexible. You're helping people find homes, which is extremely fulfilling. And it's very challenging in New York. It's a whole different ballgame from doing real estate anywhere else. And it really feeds into my network of, people. I've shown, the guy who's playing Aaron Burr in Hamilton in Chicago, I showed him his apartment,
very cool.
You're still making connections. You're still getting to know people. And every film set I go on, someone might need an apartment. So it's just kind of the ebb and flow of life.
Is that performing art, professional niche kind of how you set yourself apart? Because you made it sound like New York is a really competitive place to be a real estate agent.
It is. And I do. I will, and I legally have to show anybody who wants an apartment. But I even put in my bio for real estate that I am an actress and a performing artist because I think there are so many students that go to Columbia, NYU, all of these wonderful acting programs, as well as just artists coming from college, moving to the city. So I have so many platforms where I can, be known as somebody who understands the artist, how their pay structure works. They don't necessarily get a salary. And helping them find stuff that's affordable that will work for them. I know many dancers that don't mind a 5th floor walk up. It's free,
gives you
free
that workout for your day.
Yeah, so it's just I feel like that niche really works out for me just because I do understand them. I run in their circles, and can show them that hey, when you go down to auditions, it's 2 minutes from the train to get out at Pearl Studios. And it's something no other realtor would really think to tell them. Absolutely. So yeah, there are many routes you can take, but there's mostly 3 routes. There's the route that I took, which is you go to a liberal arts college, you get a BA degree, you take, your 22 general requirement credits or something like that. And then the rest of, your experience is theater, but you have to take not just theater. I had to take technical theater and performing. I had to learn to build sets and paint them and do props. I took a theater management course. So you're really, I took a regular biology class. I did not take math, thanks to my high school. I went ahead and took college algebra there.
Nice.
So that's just, you're really getting the full experience. I always kind of give the example of, have you ever seen the TV show Bones?
Yeah, of course.
So that actress has to know what she's talking about a little bit. She doesn't have to be like the woman who plays Brennan. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to be a scientist herself, but she has to understand what she's saying. If she's never taken a biology course in her life, she's going to be really behind these other people. I know Grey's Anatomy, they specifically will hire an actress for a walk-on role that has a nursing degree or a doctorate, because they at least know the terminology. So that's kind of where I can come from, wanting that well-roundedness. And then you get the intensity of a conservatory program, which has usually very, very good networking ties to New York City, LA, London, all of these major hubs of performance. Mm-hmm. And it's you eat, sleep, breathe theater. And some people do it after their college experience. I could go to Stella Adler right now, take a 2-year conservatory program at 40 hours a week and get a pseudo degree from them.
What do you mean by pseudo degree?
Well, I get a certificate from them, but it's not a college degree.
Okay.
Yeah, because it carries a lot of weight. But if you ever, need or want a job in a different field, or even just, somewhere in behind the scenes in like theater management or producing, they're probably going to want you to have a college degree that is more than just you're an amazing actor.
Okay.
And then in between those two, you have the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, where you take some general requirement courses, SUNY Fredonia has that. And then mostly, you eat, sleep, and half breathe performing arts, and then you do a couple of the other courses too. So you kind of have 3 different ways to go. None of them are wrong. None of them are right. All of them have pros and cons. But it's really just figuring out what kind of person you want to be. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself to not have an education outside of theater. Just because I don't know, I'm a planner. So that's why I chose mine. It was a very long-winded response. Hope you enjoyed it. 100% of the time.
Really?
So personally, Justin Bieber was discovered when YouTube was first a thing, like the first couple of years. Now YouTube is so saturated with videos. No one's ever going to just go through YouTube and try and find a star. But speaking from the other side of the table with Richard Baskin Productions, we actually we have a show coming up on the 29th in New York City called On the Map. And we put out a casting call for 5 girls, 5 boys. And we said, send your headshot, your resume, and a YouTube clip or 2 for us to look at. Because it's much more cost effective not to do in-person auditions. Or at the very least, you just kind of pre-screen them. You can find out within the first, it was actually very fun to do because it took us first 20 seconds to see if we even wanted to, invite them into the show.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were great, but, and some of them needed work, but still they were almost all YouTube videos. There's a couple of Vimeo, a couple of direct links, but YouTube is a great way to have those videos and that those views all in one place. So I have a performing artist website. where I put YouTube videos on the website, but they still are linked to YouTube because YouTube people trust it. They know what it is. And then when they click it, it can link you to all of the other work you've done.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, keep it up to date. But that really is, college admissions. You're going to send a self tape in to see if it's worth you coming all the way to, driving out to a college to audition. So yeah, YouTube is a very, very useful source.
As somebody that is making these casting decisions, are you looking at like, oh, how many subscribers do they have? How many views does this have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we are a smaller company, if we're on Broadway, I don't really care. But regional theaters, community theaters, any smaller production companies like ours in New York City, we want to know that you will bring people to the show. It's not necessarily something that like, oh, well, we're not going to cast you unless you promise to bring 10 people, although that does exist as well. Mm-hmm. Kind of a pay to play deal. But we want to know, okay, wow. So there's two people who are absolutely phenomenal. One of them has 0 online presence. The other one has like, even Instagram is a really big deal. There was this one girl who just had like 10,000 Instagram followers. And like most of them were real. I'm pretty sure all of them were real. Like, there are some of those bots.
Yeah.
But I knew that those people she was going to sell out the house.
Did she?
Because she had so many followers. Yeah, she did a really good job. We still did our marketing thing, but that cushion can't help. Can't not help. Just having someone who has a large following. And I know this is something that you talk about a lot, the networking thing, and just coming from someone who has so many different careers happening all at once, you really cannot underestimate the power of having and keeping in contact with your network. It is the single most vital part of becoming a professional and of being successful, I think, is recognizing where people can help you grow your business, and not being afraid to ask that network for help when you need it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Alicia. I wish you the best with your upcoming performances. Links are going to be down in the description so you can buy tickets, and also your Instagram for your real estate and your Richard Baskin Productions, because I can speak English.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.